Hello guys, we are back with our next tutorial. In this tutorial, let us go through two-phase locking. Guys, these all two-phase lockings are interrelated guys. So one updated version is one and the other updated version is one. So like your devices, like the first version is 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 like that. These also have those kind of relation in between them guys. Okay, so now let us go through two-phase locking protocols in basic 2PL guys. Fine. Okay, so basically this is two-phase locking, right? So in one phase we will be applying lock and in one phase we will be removing lock. So this point we will be calling as lock point, where almost all the required variables are locked, and this is nothing but the growing phase where we apply lock, and this is nothing but the shrinking phase where we unlock locks. Fine. So this is the basic diagram or representation with which you can write the whole concept of basic 2PL guys. Fine. I hope everyone is now clear with the diagram. So let us go through the point. Okay. So basic 2PL requires both lock and unlock being done in two phases. So this is phase 1, this is phase 2. Those are nothing but GP and SP. Growing phase, shrinking phase. Fine. Okay, so whenever I say about two-phase locking or locking mechanism, everyone thinks that, so we think that initially we'll be taking a variable, we will be locking it, then we'll be unlocking it, we'll be taking another variable, we'll be locking it, unlocking it. So everyone will be thinking in this way, because in shared memory, in operating system and many other subjects will be using the same concept. But in DBMS, it's completely different in transactions guys, basically. So here we think that here the concept applied for a lock is lock for a variable, use it and then unlock, and doing the same for every variable. But it is not in this way. So basically I told you initially we'll be locking the required variables. At the maximum point we'll be unlocking them by using them. Fine. So that's what we have written here. But here we initially start applying locks to our variables. It means we are in growing phase. After applying few locks, we reach to the lock point. Now we can release the locks when we need to. Whenever we need, we will be releasing the locks and we will be moving in the shrinking phase. Fine. So in this way the 2PL works guys. So if we lock a Q here, we may unlock Q here. If we may lock R here, we may unlock here. So in that way. Fine. So the most important point that you should remember is in growing phase, transaction can only obtain locks but cannot release any locks. Similarly, in shrinking phase, transaction can only release locks but cannot obtain any locks. Fine. So I hope everyone got a small idea on this. So the same diagram we can represent in terms of a graph. So initially we'll be acquiring the locks. Afterwards we'll be releasing the locks. In between we'll be having in the lock phase. We'll be doing our required processes. So if you take a small example, this could be a best example for this guys. Okay. So initially for a variable A, we will be acquiring the lock. We will be reading the value, then we will be locking B, we will be unlocking both. So once you unlock something, you cannot lock B or A or C again. So that's the thing. If you are in locking state, you need to lock all, you need to move to the maximum point or lock point, and you need to return back. I hope everyone got a clear idea on this. Okay, so now let us go through the advantages and disadvantages of this. So in between, okay, the thing is that in between lock and unlock, we can perform many operations like read and write. Fine. So the main disadvantages in this is we cannot recover the data, and there are even deadlocks can be formed guys. We'll be discussing about deadlocks, don't worry. In the next tutorials we'll be discussing guys. Okay, so deadlock will be an issue, and these we cannot recover the data, and this is cascading rollback is not possible guys. Fine. Okay, so how can I say that we cannot recover the data? So let us take a small example. So initially we locked the value of A. Okay, in a particular transaction, we read the value of A, we wrote the value of A, we unlocked A. So it is done in transaction 1. Similarly, in transaction 2, we locked the value of A and we read the value of A. But the thing is that we didn't commit here. We wrote it in the RAM, but we didn't update it yet in the the hard disk or the database. So that is the reason why whenever you read the data, you will be reading the old data. Reading the original data of A till T1 is not committed. So if there is any issue, we cannot recover this. We need to completely roll back to the initial state. So this is nothing but we cannot recover the data, and this is the main drawback and deadlocks. So I hope everyone got a small idea on this. So to remove deadlocks in this situation, the static 2PL has come into play. So in the next tutorial, we'll be going through the static 2PL. So let us meet in the next tutorial. Thank you. Thanks for watching.